And welcome to another post of this mk2 Jaguar widebody 2-door coupe which I am building. Today is just a quick update on where I'm at and what I've been doing. I stated in my last posting that I was on with the wiring harness, so I was putting all the bits and pieces in on the engine and everything else. Well, I was struggling to get a schematic for the engine harness for the ECU. I eventually got that sorted out because I needed to know the diagnostic cables and things like that. I've had the engine running originally in my old Mark II, my black one in the car coon there, but anyway, it's another story. So anyway, whilst I was messing around with that, I decided to do the door frames, the window frames and everything. And obviously because I put, it's 7 inch, I thought it was 6 inch in the door, it's 7 inch I put in the doors. Obviously I had to do something about the window frames. So, I had an extra set of frames, which I had, so I chopped, as you can see, the frame, chopped the other frame, put them in the actual car, in the door, and made a new length. So what will happen is, where it joins there, I will chamfer both edges all the way around. I really should have got these de-chromed first, but which would have just made it easier for making finishing it off. But I take the chrome off, I carefully sand the chrome off, so I don't do, well, I try not to do any damage to the brass underneath. Chamfer them, and then I've got some silicon bronze welding cables which I will TIG in. So that's what I do there, and that's just steel, is this frame here. So I just weld those together and I flush those off. The back windows, it's the same process really, much more complex. So I chop the frame up. So that's the frame, you see there. Now the different types of extrusion the frames are made of, depending on which part. It's got a frame here. So this part here of the frame, this extrusion is different from this extrusion and these bits here. So it's made up of all different bits. Now I wanted to try and get this brand new, but I can't find any manufacturers that do this stuff. I can't find any information relating to the manufacturer who made these frames for Jaguar, where they got them from, whether it was specifically made for Jaguar. I can't find anything, and I couldn't afford to have some dies made up to have these extruded. That was out of the question, so that's why I'm having to make and utilise new frames from the old ones. So what I've been doing is chopping bits out and adding bits to make the frame. I'll show you in a minute what I've done, but what I've done here, because they're different, you have to bear with me. This frame here is like kind of like a C-section. It doubles back on itself and the seal sits inside and locks in there. Well, in this part here, that didn't have this lip here. Sorry for that. But so I've had to put a piece in and brass that in. So I brassed it all in there. So I tigged all that piece in. So I had enough lip to put the new bit of seal in to hold it in. I don't have a piece at the back, as you can see there. I don't have that piece in there, but what I'm going to do is I'll glue the whole thing in the back there, and at least it can't come out at the front when the window comes up against the seal at the back. It can't push it up and raise it above this face here. So that's what I've done with that. Obviously this fits into the new aperture, and the bottom here, because obviously this bit of post went up there and it came down here, so obviously that's had to come out because it's one window now. And the piece here, I've had to use the other piece of frame here. So this piece here I'll cut off there and there, and my shrinker stretcher, which I have, I'll stretch the back face, this back face here, I'll stretch that, to pretty much straighten that back out, and then I'll TIG it back into here so it'll come across here. And then this piece here, this is the new B-post pillar, as it were, which will be welded into there, so it'll make a frame up. And this piece here is where the hinge, this is the actual hinge piece where the actual glass will be fastened into, and like I said, it'll all sit in there. So this is and this is the capping for the B-post. I bought some sheet brass, 1.6, I think it's 1.6 millimeters is that. Expensive, though, 25 quid for a sheet which was just twice as big as that, just to do two B-post covers. But final effects is what we're after, and it looks good. And all the bits and pieces, because this is longer than the original window. So this lock here, which holds the window in, that's extended and drilled and tapped as well to make it. So it's just utilising all the bits and pieces from the frames to make up a new frame. This is what I've done. Some will have seen the pictures on my Facebook, which I post up, but this is pretty much the end result. So this is the original catch. I did want to use E-type Jaguar coupe rear quarter window catchers. They go there, around there, and they just go like that. But I couldn't get any of those neither. So I've had to utilise the original. I would prefer to that because there's just such a big window. Having that catch there, I'm worried that it might flap a little bit, but we'll see. I'm pretty much stuck with that now anyway. So use the original window catch, but I had to modify it. The original bracket here, which actuates the window frame, because it's bigger, it all changed. So I had to make this new one, but it locks off perfectly and it closes perfectly now. So it nicely opens it up. It's nice as that. That's a brass sheet. What I did was I welded it across the bottom and the top and down the edge there, all the way down, and then I just cleaned it all back up. Fastening it in, I did what it originally done. The original cover that went on it was screwed to the B-post, so some screws either side. So I've just screwed it back in, not in the original spots. I just measured each end and then the centre, and then the cappings on the inside. Can't see, no, I need a light in there, but there's a bit here because obviously this is, I tried to keep it the same depth as the original setup where you had the original B-post cover and the door frame. So I tried to keep it the same. That's why I doubled up on this here. If you can see where I've tigged it and cleaned it back there. So that's why I didn't want a thin channel. I wanted to keep it the same thickness as the original. So that's that. You can see here the same thing where I changed it slightly with the one I'm doing on that side. I joined it here and here. Then I thought, why did I join it there for? I might as well just cut it there, because this comes up and starts coming back down again because of the frame line there. So on the new one I show you, I've cut it there, and that just lifts up a little bit to get this arc nice. But just joined and then I've just cleaned it up. So it's all silicon bronze brazing rods, which is here. These are my rods. Just 1.6mm silica bronze rods. Bit of messing around, trying to get my head around brazing with TIG, but we've managed to get it somewhat like. But yeah, that's how it's going so far. Well, I think it looks quite good, and it's flat glass. Both windows are flat glass. The angles haven't changed in the frames at all. They sit nicely back in, so easy enough to get glass. My neighbour next door, he specialises in glass, which is quite handy really. So he said he'll do me the glasses and get them tempered for me. So yeah, nice and easy. So there you go, that's where we're at. As always, cheers for the positive comments. It's inspirational, keeps me going, especially when things seem to dry up with speed, as it were. And everybody's saying when you're going to get it painted and this and that, but time's time and we'll get there eventually. Anyway, thanks a lot, enjoy.